Hey, what's up guys, welcome back, and this is the Samsung Galaxy M02s, also known as the A02s. Now, we've all seen smartphones on a budget under 20,000, under 15,000 and under 10,000 rupees. All of these mainly meant for people who are on a budget but are still looking to buy a smartphone. And according to me, the Galaxy M02s is probably the best budget smartphone that you could buy, and I'll be explaining why in this video. The Galaxy M02s has a very neat and clean design. It has some pretty good design at the back of this phone, giving it some really good grip when you hold the phone itself. It's also kind of tall, round-edged, and feels pretty big in your hands. This is probably my first phone, so I haven't really felt or compared this to any other phone. But it's pretty tall and pretty big compared to other phones like the Samsung Galaxy M32, which I reviewed about a month ago. It has a simple plastic body, which makes sense because of its price, but that being said, it is pretty heavy for a phone that is made out of a plastic body and weighs about 196 grams without any accessories. I personally have used a screen protector to protect the screen of the phone, and it weighs about 210 grams. I've also noticed a lot of people using cases and phone covers for their mobile phones, so additionally it really depends on the type of phone case you're using. If you're using a very simple transparent case for the phone, it may be a little lighter, but if you're using a flip case for the phone, it's going to be much more heavy. Again, it depends on the type of case you're using. The main phone itself weighs about 196 grams. The buttons also aren't that great. There is a power button as well as volume button on one side, as well as a SIM card slot on the left hand side, which is located at the top. Now, the SIM card slot located on the top doesn't really make a big difference, considering the fact that you won't be accessing the SIM card very often. Other than that, the buttons are located at a great height level so that you can reach it even if you have smaller hands. Now, because of the size of the phone, there is unfortunately no fingerprint sensor for this on the screen or on the bezels of the screen. But surprisingly, there is also Face ID. It really is funny when you think about it. Face ID is a relatively young technology that was started off in iPhones, but this time it's available in a 10,000 rupees smartphone. It's really impressive, works really fast. Now that we are living in a world full of masks during the pandemic, it isn't very reliable outside, but if you're at home and most of the time if you are using your smartphone, Face ID is reliable and works really well. It does have bezels which are maximum at the chin. There is no bezel on top, mainly because the notch has been reduced as much as possible just to accommodate that 5 megapixel selfie camera, and the speaker is located just on top. Other than that, it also depends on the screen protector. The screen protector that I use already has bezels on the sides of it, so it doesn't really make a big difference. The camera is slightly bigger compared to other cameras of phones in the similar price range, as well as phones in a higher price range. It doesn't take a lot of space, it's just slightly bigger, but I'll get to that when I talk about the camera in detail. On the bottom, as usual, there is a single grilled speaker. It's not that great, the speaker isn't stereo quality, but it is manageable. It also has a 3.5mm headphone port to connect headphones. It's also Bluetooth compatible, so if you're using a Bluetooth speaker or a Bluetooth headphone, you don't really need to use this 3.5mm headphone port, but it is there for those of you who use wired headphones. It also has a USB Type-C charging cable for charging the phone, and the included charger with the smartphone is a USB to a USB Type-C cable. As far as cameras are concerned, the M02s comes with a triple camera setup that includes a 13 megapixel standard camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, as well as a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The camera, of course, as I said, the layout is pretty big compared to other smartphones in the same price range. That being said, the camera is decent for the price that you're paying for it. The best photos, as usual in every other smartphone camera, comes under natural daylight. The worst always comes under artificial light, so I try to avoid using this camera as much as possible. Videos, however, as I mentioned, can be recorded at 1080p at 30 fps, which is pretty good, but since the depth sensor is pretty bad, like in the Samsung Galaxy M32, and there is no image stabilization, the camera isn't really that good. And so if you're looking for buying a phone for the camera itself, this isn't the one for you. The Galaxy M02s comes with a 6.5-inch touch screen display with 400 nits of brightness but only 720 pixels of resolution. It isn't that great, it's not 1080p, but the fact that you cannot use this thing for gaming or any intense work, it doesn't really make a big difference, and for the size of the phone, 720p is sort of more than enough. But even though it does have a 720 pixel display, the camera can record videos at 1080p at 30 fps. I also feel that the touch screen and the touch sensitivity of the smartphone should have been improved. A lot of people use a screen guard for protecting the screen from external damage, and if that feature could have been added, navigating through the phone would have been sort of more easier. The smartphone also comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 processor as well as a massive 5000 mAh battery. This massive 5000 mAh battery is quite impressive and provides at least 2 days of full battery without charging the phone itself. It's really convenient, so everywhere I go I don't have to carry the charger along with me, unlike other phones where you have to do that because the battery isn't as big. It is pretty impressive feature of the phone and I'm satisfied with it. Obviously, since it's a very recent Samsung Galaxy phone, it's running Android 10 with One UI 2.5. Of course, at the time of recording this video, the latest Android operating system is Android 11, so you can upgrade this phone to Android 11, and for the next few years, updates will be very consistent for this one phone. However, if you want a smartphone that has great cameras, great performance and great specifications, this isn't the phone for you. You might as well go for higher end phones like iPhones or Asus ROG gaming phones to run intense work. So that's it for today's video. I've left a purchase link in the description below. You can click on it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.